Okay, this is actually a solo episode. I have to talk about. Okay, so I went on a trip, right, not that long ago. Objectively, one of the most difficult trips ever, like travel, in terms of travel. So here, and I was like, I have to do an episode about this because it was like, you wouldn't believe. I mean, if you'd scripted it, it wouldn't have been. It's actually that psychotic. Okay, so I was traveling to London. This was my first time traveling with American Airlines. Nobody told me that it was like the butthole of all airlines. Everyone's like, no, not American Airlines. I was like, no. Okay, so I arrive at the airport, and I've talked about this before because I was an anxious traveler. The airports were one of my favorite places to get wasted, right? So I'd go there and I'd just get fucked up. And it's like the Wild West. The airport is the Wild West of drinking. Like 7 a.m. you can get shots and get fucked up with like a stranger from Taiwan or something. And there was something about that banter that I liked because I get social anxiety and crowd anxiety, and airports is just social and crowd, and everyone's pissed off, right? So I was like, cool. I would show up drunk. After I check in my shit, I would go and continue to drink, right? So now being sober, I've had to think of ways to control that and make sure that I'm comfortable. And what do I do to get comfortable? So I leave early, and then I go to the lounge. I like showering at the airport before my flight, and then I'll eat. I'll text with some friends, TikTok, whatever, and starting little mini fires with friends. I'm like, listen, I just want to tell you, I really don't like your. I don't quite go that far, but like there's there are group chats, and then there's just people talking about their problems all the time. So like it's a good place to have those long conversations that I'm not always gonna have time for. Whatever. So at this stage of it, I get to the airport. The first thing that happens, so I have more suitcases than I usually do because I had a lot of social engagements in London, and I was also going to Paris, and I was going to be in Sweden for a couple of days. For a bunch of different events. So I had 2 large suitcases. I had like a hand luggage, and then I had like another bag. It was kind of clumsy, but I thought I'd packed strategically. Like I was done packing a week before I left. Anyway, the airport had changed a little structurally, so I suddenly had to drag the bags to get a cart, and I can't drag all those bags. Like, it was just really hard. I didn't know how to figure that out. And, somebody helped, and then whatever. So I got in. I was walking in, and fucking hell, if I'm going to be such a dick right now because this is my space and I get to. Fuck kids at the airport. What the fuck are you guys on? I hate all of you. I do. And then you'll see, like, the mom. So these were 3 little boys. They're like under 10. They're just about 8, 9, and 10, let's say, because they're around that age. These fucking psychotic little demons were running around back and forth. And I'm just looking at the mom like, do you want to handle your little spawns of Satan, please? And she's just looking at, like, she's in love with her children. I'm like, I'm glad you're in love with your children because they're absolute terror. They're horrible. Anyway, I end up tripping over my bag, trying to like not get like hurt them, not like I was going to do anything. It's more like I didn't know how to get around them, and in an attempt to keep to myself, I tripped over my own bag. So it was a foreshadowing for how this trip was just going to get worse and worse. Anyway, so fast forward, I check in my bags, I get to the lounge, I shower. That part was great. I eat, and then it's time to board. There's a delay by an hour. So first hour, I'm like, okay, that's fine, whatever. And then there's another hour. And then it gets delayed another hour. And then it gets delayed another hour. So 4 hours, hourly. It's not even like they said, hey, there's a 4-hour delay. Hour. Eventually, they just canceled the flight. And this is after 4 hours. Now, up to that point, we're still optimistic. They're saying, hey, the engines are overheated. And it won't cool down. You don't want to hear that as somebody flying. So you're like, that's cool. Cool them engines. Take your time. But I guess they fail. So no, there's no cooling down of the engines. as soon as the flight's canceled, it's like the fucking Hunger Games, okay? Everybody is losing their shit trying to get on a flight. I'll give you a pointer right away. Everyone thinks that you're supposed to go talk to somebody there, like a physical person. Don't do that. Call customer, call the airline. That's all they'll tell you to do. Immediately when you form a line, right, and you're going to talk to the agents, whatever, they'll send out somebody like a rep to, I'm sorry, this flight's been canceled, blah, blah, blah. And everybody wants to talk to that person. You don't need to talk to that person. I'm telling you right now, my mom was in the airline business. Like, I know this. You call immediately, and that's what he did. He was handing out these papers with a phone number on it. So if you want to get ahead of that, you call. And that's what I did. So I called. And I'm going to skip a lot of this, but I spent an hour with this woman who is the only good thing about American Airlines, because fuck all of you. You all suck balls. You're so terrible. I hate all of you. I hate you so much. And I hate them so much because the flight back got canceled as well. And they flew me through. You know what? I'm getting ahead of myself. They suck. They just suck. But anyway, this woman, she was lovely. They partner with British Airways. So I'm on the phone for an hour pleading because there's like a flight she can get me on, but technically it's too soon. So let's say it was 4 p.m. that it got canceled. The flight that she could get me on was in the system as 5 p.m., but it's been delayed 3 hours. It's been delayed 3 hours, but because it's in the system as 5 p.m., it's already delayed to get me on the flight. And she was like, I'm going to try. I'm like, bitch, please put me anywhere. And she's like, she'll put me on hold and she's like negotiating whatever. She's talking to other people. And then she's like, okay, I can get you on the flight, but it won't be in the class that you booked. I'm like, put me on the wing. Put me on the wing. Put me in cargo. I don't care. Tie me to under the plane. I need to get to London. Okay. So, whatever. Very long story short. I had to spend about over 11 hours at the airport, but I got on a flight. So you'd think after all of that, it'd be over, right? It wasn't. I got to London. I have to ask them, hey, I transferred from, actually, I want to make a note here for British Airways too, because like kind of low-key fuck you guys too. Why? As soon as she had issued the ticket for me, right? She's emailed it to me. I go to British Airways to their gate. And he's like, you're from American Airlines? And I said, yes. He's like, we have no flights. I'm like, no, you do. No seats. And I was like, you do. I have a ticket. He's like, we'll see about that. Why the fuck are you saying that? You know what we've just gone through, right? So maybe, he's probably thinking I'm trying to like weasel my way onto the flight. And fair enough. There's a lot of people that are fighting to get on flights, any flight, right? But I got on the flight. And his attitude was so shit. And he was like, we'll see. I was like, you could see right here, you fucking asshole. Like, ugh. It just the worst attitude. But anyway, whatever. So I get to London after all of this. And they eventually did get the same ticket for the class that I had originally booked. So that worked out. But it was hard. That was hard too. Anyway, so I got to London. My bags did not make the flight. I was without my suitcases for 3 days. And I remember I told you I had a lot of events to attend, starting with the next day. I was cutting it so close to the next day. So originally I was supposed to have landed at 10 a.m. and then the event would be that evening at 6. I got in at 4 p.m., 2 hours before my event. Now I have no suitcase. So this is where the note to... when you pack your hand luggage, which I did not strategically pack my hand luggage, right? Make sure it's things you need in case you lose or they misplace your suitcases. I don't know if this is like a duh for people. When this happened, I was like, fuck, obviously, that's what I should have done. By chance, I'd packed one suit, like this gorgeous green suit, that came with like a vest, gorgeous pants, everything was pretty fitting for like the event I had planned, like I was going to. I had a gorgeous dress that I'd shopped for it that obviously was nowhere. It was in my suitcase, so I couldn't wear the dress. But by chance, I'd packed this in the hand luggage, and so this worked out. This is great. Now, what also was in my suitcases was my portable podcast equipment, and I had scheduled an interview with Paul Harris, and he is an amazing sober mentor in the UK. And his interview, I think, was 2 days after I arrived in London. And I was like, I contacted him right away, and I said, listen, they don't have my bags, and the podcast equipment is in there. What do you want to do? He's like, you know what? We got this. I have to give a good shout out to this guy, because here's the thing. What's cool about this is that, okay, I'm sure we could have rescheduled. I was there for a good little under a month, right? But what was cool about this is that we're both different stages of sobriety. He's about 11 years. I think it's 11 years. I don't want to lie. He's over a decade anyway. And I'm just a little over 2 years, right? And stress is when we usually get fucked up. Like, stress is when we go, okay, fuck this, right? I can't tell you, not only was I so stressed out, I was exhausted. I was pissed off. And I'm a rageaholic. I've said that. And like, I wanted to, I can't describe it. I just thought I could not believe the incompetence across the board. I was mortified. Not great. So I'm at the airport. Anyway, I'm at the airport. They tell me, you know what, your suitcases didn't make it. I fill out a thing, and I'm at the hotel, and I'm talking to Paul Harris now, this amazing mentor, a sober mentor, not my mentor, but a sober mentor. He has clients, and very wonderful, just great guy. I've followed on Instagram for ages, and I was going to do this interview for him for this podcast over there. So I said to him, hey, I don't have the equipment. What do you want to do? And we thought it was like a great opportunity to show people how to navigate with unexpected things. And this was not only unexpected, it was inconvenient. It was, I was exhausted. I was just jet lagged. So it's like, the level of discomfort that had this been in my first year, there's a reason I didn't travel in my first year of sobriety. Because airports stressed me out, and my stress response was rage and drinking. And so I was like, I'm not going to put myself in a situation where that could happen. Had this happened then, I couldn't tell you. Imagine first, as an alcoholic in recovery, I'm stuck at the airport for almost 12 hours, right? And in a lounge where they just give you alcohol. I mean, this would have been a shit show in my first year of sobriety. It's why I didn't do it. It's why I didn't travel. So, I'm walking around and I'm on the phone trying to get on another flight. I might not make it to this event that I've just looking forward to and I've shopped for and I've gotten ready and prepped for 6 months. I'm pissed. I am so pissed. I'm so angry that when I was talking to the woman on the phone for the rep for American Airlines who was trying to get me on another flight, I had to catch myself and say, listen, I have to tell you that I'm really, really angry right now. I'm so angry, and it's not you. I know you're going to hear it in my voice because I want to yell. I'm so angry, and I know you don't have to care. I really said this. I said, you don't have to care about any of this, but there are things that I worked for really hard for months and months. There are meetings that I worked very hard to get and that I shopped for, and I am so angry. I'm so angry. And I don't want you to think it's you. And thank you for helping me. Please be forgiving towards my tone. And that's all I could do to stop because everything was coming out hard in my voice. So, because like anytime she was saying something about, it's listed as 5 p.m. even though the flight's 8 p.m. I might not get you on. I'm like, please get me on the flight. This is ridiculous. I'm already checked in. I can see the gate that it's going to go for. That's what they were saying. They were saying on a technicality, you're going to miss a flight that's 3 hours from now, on top of the fact that my own flight, after 4-hour delay, has been canceled. That's not happening. You're not going to keep me at the airport and have me while I'm standing right here, miss another flight that you could put me on so I can make it to my meetings at least. And I was lashing out, and I hoped that the apology that I'd given her in between, as I could feel my rage rising, was enough. And I was like, please, I hope that's enough. I hope she understands that this is really hard for me right now. And there's not enough time to tell her, hey, I'm in recovery. She doesn't have to care. There's no reason to talk rude to somebody who's trying to help you. It's not her fault it got canceled, right? But I'm angry still. Anyway, we're in London. So me and Paul Harris decided to go forward with this interview. And the way that we did it, and you're going to see it in this episode, is we used our phones. So I interviewed him on my phone, on my iPhone, and we went to Salon Privé, which is a luxury car show at Blenheim Palace. Gorgeous. It's about 2 hours outside of London. And he was like, I'll go with you. I love cars. We'll just do it on, we'll interview each other on the train. We'll cover it and we'll go into what it's like to handle unexpected things. Like, because, there's also the sorrow of having worked so hard on these things. I was sad because I'd worked so hard to do good. I'm an artist, I'm a painter. In the many things that I do, I also paint and I do art exhibits. And a lot of this was strategically to get my work into galleries there and make the right connections in order to do that. And I was sad. I was so sad that things that I had worked for so hard, every day that passes, mind you, also that I don't have my suitcases is another day, another event that I'm going to miss that I had planned for. I have an outfit for it. I have shoes for it, the whatever. And the stress was unmatched. Like but never, I have to be grateful because it never occurred to me that, hey, let me take a shot or let me whatever. So the stress response of drinking when I'm upset was not present, but the rage definitely was. The rage definitely was. And I was grateful to, me and Paul Harris connected and we took the train together and I talked to him about all of this and he was very understanding. He had just experienced a loss in the family. I think it was his father that had passed. And I said, this would be cool for people to watch to see how you are still showing up for your commitments, including this one that is now we're having to like reapproach how we were going to do our whole interview, and you're still showing up to your commitments. And then it will be cool for people to see someone like me, new in sobriety, navigate through all of these challenges, because it's like I'm still a baby in the context of sobriety, and how we're still showing up and how we still want to be of service. And that's what that was. Really continuously, you'll hear it in the clips here that is in this episode. It's our focus was to lead by example, right? Instead of being like, oh, fuck it, this is too hard. We were like, but life is like that. Life is going to be really hard at times. Sometimes things you worked for really hard out of reasons out of your control entirely might not work out the way that you want them to. And how can we power through still and be of service and stick to our commitments? And so throughout the interview, that was kind of the theme we were going through. So he was telling me about how he's working through his sadness around the loss in his family. And, every now and then he would ask to take a break. So he would look at his phone because he has clients, right? He has people that he mentors through sobriety. And I loved seeing how he prioritized the people, the clients that he had. And I was learning from that too. It was constantly moments of learning because I could have easily, in my rage, right? Here's the thing with my anger. Well, everyone's like, I've experienced a lot of people like saying, oh, she probably just gets a little mad. No, I get blackout angry, forget all reason, hyper focused on little I can't describe it other than that it becomes the only important thing, to be really angry and to let it out and to be chaotic. And so that's what I was battling. I had no impulse to drink whatsoever. I was battling how unfair this was, and I'd worked really hard, and what the fuck, right? Like in every now and then that rage demon was in there and just going, this is fucked. This is not what we worked for. This is blah, 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 and whatever. Like, so watching him who's lost a loved one, like who's lost family, still show up for this very chaotic, structured podcast interview taught me a lot. And he expressed that he was like, I remember this. I remember when I was still in my first couple of years of sobriety and still learning how to deal with things that were really making me angry. And so, yeah, while we're being of service by like doing this interview with each other and whatever, we also were actively learning. And that was really cool. So, and having an experience, it was about like moving away from the moment and not making it the center, that fucking ridiculous trip that just fell apart, right? And was continuously, every day that I didn't have my suitcase was continuously ruining more plans. hindering, not ruining, hindering, right? It was hindering more things that I'd planned for. I don't have anything but outside my luggage. Again, hand luggage, I can't stress this enough. Pack it as if you're not going to have your other suitcases. That's what you want to do. Like, if I've learned, you must, right? But thankfully, by chance, whatever. And you know what? I could shop. I'm not going to act like I couldn't just go and shop if I needed to. But even that, I didn't. Everything was planned to the T, you know? But anyway, so we're doing this interview and I'm learning a lot of things and we're having an experience. So going to Salon Privé was wonderful. We saw gorgeous, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful cars, and which is probably funny to people because I don't drive, because I just don't trust myself behind the wheel. And my mom told me a long time ago, as I've shared, to not ever drive. So I don't drive. I love cars though. Not any cars, classic cars. Oh my God, classical cars. They are poetry. It's like watching those beautiful cars. It just like, oh my God. I will show you a clip of a Rolls Royce that's just like will make you melt. There is such artistry to how they used to make them like back in the day. And now all you see is like boxes and it pollutes the eyes. But anyway, so, we went to this gorgeous car show that I'd planned on going with like by myself really, but I was going to meet with people there and that still happened. But like here I was with like another sober person who put a lot of energy into redirecting my energy and ensuring that he gave me a great interview, because it's like I wanted the interview for him so that I can put my audience onto him, because if there were listeners in the UK that didn't know about him, I wanted them to know that there's this guy who just really is devoted to helping people get out of addiction, and he prioritizes people. And I was like, I realized then too, he was kind of like looking out for me too in that regard, because like definitely actively fighting that impulse to fester in the anger was constantly being countered by me showing up because he was showing up with such good energy. It prompted me to show up with good energy as well, interview him, focus on that, respect that, respecting somebody else in that context is so interesting, somebody who you reached out to have an interview with. And so I loved how organic the whole thing played out. I had planned for it to be like a calm interview in a very controlled space. And it was metaphoric. How it played out was just a great example of you're not always going to get what you planned. And that's life. And sobriety in life that can be really hard sometimes was at play right then. And so yeah, here's some clips of us, and I asked him some questions both on the train and once we got to the Palace to enjoy the car show. And I just wanted to do like this little intro to express all of those things. Oh yeah, let me just wrap up with why American Airlines are the buttholes of all airlines. On the way back, they canceled my direct flight. Or the flight got canceled, not for anything to do with me. It got canceled. They flew me in through Phoenix, and then the connecting flight was meant to be about an hour and a half later. So, which already a huge inconvenience because you have to take your bag, check out your bags and then check them back into the next flight. So I was like, fuck, that's stressful for it to do in an hour and a half. But I can pull it off. I get to the airport. And then the connecting flight is canceled. So we land in Phoenix. I'm rushing because I think I'm on very limited time here, right? And then I get there and it's canceled. Not only is it canceled, so I land at 7 p.m., right? And this is after a 10-hour flight from London. So I land at 7 p.m. The flight's supposed to be like 8:30, 8:45 maybe. It wasn't taking off until 11:30, which means I wasn't going to land until after 12, which means I wasn't going to be in bed until 2:30. I got home at like 2:40, something like that. So I don't know what the hell was going on with American Airlines, jokes aside. If I can help it, I'm never flying that airline again. It was continuously the most unprofessional, except for that angel, that wonderful woman that helped me on the phone, who I guess was like, she was a fluke because everybody else who was doing the same thing on the phone were just not getting much help at all. Like, I actively spoke. You know how, like, you become a little temporary family with everybody else that's, like, stranded when you're in those kind of situations? So there was, like, a group of us looking up. They're like, did you make this flight? Or did you make this flight? Whatever. And they were not getting treated well at all. So I'm not going to be, like, an asshole about it. There's that one woman, to me, on the phone was wonderful. And God bless. Like, thank you for helping me. Every single other person, when I wrote the letter to complain, I mean, they have to give you points and all these things. There's rules about how delayed a flight can be and how, they're not allowed to inconvenience you to this degree. So, every step of the way on trying to rectify and address this chaotic trip was met with a lot of, like, complete disregard, indifference. I never experienced anything like it, to be honest. And I travel a lot. I'm not delicate when it comes to traveling is what I'm trying to say. So, like, I know things happen. It was chaotic. It was so chaotic. If I can help it, you'll never see me again. American Airlines, you really won't. But yeah, so I wanted to record this little bit because it's going to be a different episode featuring Paul Harris, and I needed to give context, and this is the context, and this is how it happened, and also give me an opportunity to do a little update on what to look out for when you're traveling if you're anything like me, meaning, you're sensitive to high stress environments and crowds and all these things. Go early, go hours early to the airport. Pack, again, I've said this like so many times, but I'll say it again, pack your hand luggages if you might encounter issues in with your checked in bags, right? So essentials, something that'll last you a couple of days. Make sure that it's not overpacked. People tend to do that. It actually just stresses you out more. So I was done packing about a week before I traveled. So because I packed for weeks and weeks, I was very slow with it, and you'd think you would have clicked at some point to make sure that the hand luggage is going to be, but I had to learn, and now I have. So the next time I travel, which is just in about a month, I'm traveling again to London. So I mean, I'm going to be so strategic with what's in my hand luggage and not overpacking it, not being random with throwing things in, because the mindset with that used to be like, oh, whatever didn't fit in the large suitcases, I'm just going to toss it in because I have like a little extra space in the hand luggage. No, hand luggage is the emergency bag. And I highly recommend that. You don't want to experience. It was a work trip and everything was so planned out, and it worked out. Look, it worked out, but you want to learn from each trip. You definitely want to learn, and I did learn. So I'm going to write little pointers and whatever out right under this episode. And I'm going to try to do these more because I was afraid of flying, not actually flying, but because of the drinking involved, like to address my nerves. So I'm learning a lot on how to travel as somebody who's wired like I am, and I want to pass those on to you because I'm assuming that's why you're coming to this podcast, to be like, how do you not have a meltdown? So I didn't have a meltdown, but I definitely it was hard. I was very upset. I checked in with my sponsor maybe a handful of times, and I didn't even talk to her on the phone. I should have done that. But, she looks out for me. I have a good one. If you have a good sponsor, I would definitely check in more than I did. So I think that's another thing I've learned too. If you have a sponsor, if you are sober, if you are in recovery and you have a sponsor, use them. You could use them for these things. Yeah. That was something else. I have PTSD. No, I'm kidding. I'm fine. Okay, enjoy that episode with Paul Harris, and I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching this episode. Bye. Fuck you, American Airlines. That's it.
Perfect.
I hate them so much.
I had a bad American Airlines experience.
Are you recording?
Yeah.
Yes. Do you see that? Do you see that everybody hates you? Bro, I had no idea. I had no idea they were like, they're terrible. Never again.
Yeah.
If I can help it, like if they're like, oh, we have to reroute you with an American airline. No, you don't. I'm going to go home. Yeah, I'll just stay. Oh my God. Holy crap. Yeah, that shit was wild. Okay, so for context, I flew here 2 days ago and we were supposed to probably have a better circumstances to do this. My bags were delayed. So along with it, my outfit for this event and the
You've
podcast.
had a nightmare, basically.
I've had a nightmare.
You've had a nightmare.
But we thought this is kind of a great opportunity to highlight that there are high stress moments that you kind of have to power through in sobriety. Whereas in the past, we probably would have resorted to mind-numbing alternative stress relievers.
Yes, exactly. Once upon a time, we'd be in the pub right now,
Yes.
getting absolutely trashed.
Exactly.
But
And instead
I'm 11 years sober,
Yeah.
so I've got a lot of practice now.
Yeah.
A lot of practice of when that demon comes onto my shoulder.
Yeah.
I have a lot of practice where I can just, not today.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Love that.
It's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Because I just know where that would have gone.
So do you guys call it play the tape forward here
There's
too?
play to take forward, there's forward thinking,
Yeah.
fast forward. There's so many different ways you can word it, but
Yeah.
what I tell my clients and on my Instagram posts is when that demon comes,
Yeah.
you stop,
Yeah.
think.
Just give it one sec.
Yeah, just think to the day after, the morning
Yeah.
after,
Yeah.
and think about your worst, darkest time,
Yeah.
the morning after that you've had
The
before.
toilet floor.
Oh my word, the porcelain.
Which is the only thing that feels good after you've just destroyed your brain.
Exactly. Now
Yeah.
I remember going to hospital. Yeah, being in hospital, in the hospital bed twice, and they're the thoughts that I stick. They're not happy thoughts, but they're the thoughts that I keep to myself.
Yeah.
But when that devil comes talking to me,
Yeah.
which it does, even after 11 years, I still get that little.
Yeah.
Especially on a morning, I used to drink.
You were a morning drinker?
I used to drink on a morning.
Me too. Like 5 a.m. I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, it's 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
It was my own little bubble.
Yeah.
My own little bubble, my own little time.
The world's asleep still, kind of, you know?
That's the trickster that the drink is. It makes you feel that way.
Yeah.
And it's a con. It's a complete
Oh, God,
con.
it's such a lie.
So yeah, even now I can still get that little straight away.
Yeah.
I've got the experience
Yeah.
and the time
Yeah.
on my side to just shut it down.
I love that.
Shut it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even give it time. I just think to myself, can you imagine
Yeah.
if I was to have a drink? If I was to have a drink right now, I'm not sure where it would go. And
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'd get back.
Well, you know, you hear about those people, right, that have been clean from heavier drugs or whatever
Yeah.
for a while, and then they relapse, and then you take the same amount that you used to have the tolerance for, and they die.
Yeah.
This is very organic, guys.
Yeah. Okay.
For those
can I
of you, for those of you that are
What
only
about the-
listening to this, there was a cart that was passing and it was offering snacks and all that stuff. Yeah, and then they take the same amount and then they pass away. So like when they relapse, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I feel like with alcohol, it would probably be the same thing. Like you would probably just get alcohol poisoning because you'll try to take, your brain is practical somehow to the point of stupidity where it's like, no, we can do that. That's what we do.
Some people are built to take a drink
Yeah.
and leave.
Yeah.
Some people aren't.
Those weirdos. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
Those normies.
How do they manage that? Yeah, normal drinkers we call it. Normal drinkers.
But let's talk about that, the normies. I don't think it's normal to poison yourself.
Well, you can look at it that way.
Yeah.
You can look at it that way, and it's normal because alcohol is normalised.
That's what I'm saying.
The drug in
Yeah.
alcohol is normal. It's normalised. It's
Yeah.
sociably accepted.
Yeah.
And people can have a drink at a bar or on here.
Yeah.
That's it. They'll go home and not think about it for another week or so. People like me,
Jamie.
yourself, we drink.
And then we
have
call our
one.
dealer. I'm just kidding.
And then we drink, and then we make calls, and
Yeah.
we carry on.
Yeah.
And that thought
That
alone,
switch.
yeah, that thought alone scares me, because I'm not sure if I'd come
Me
back.
too.
I'm not sure if I'd come back.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I've got another recovery in me.
And your brain changes, right? I mean, if we forget about the recovery part for a second, it's the switch in brain chemistry that I don't trust. I'm like, because that I know what it feels, oddly enough, like in sobriety. There's a clear memory of when that switch happens where all I care about is more. I just want more of whatever's happening, followed by as much chaos as I can create.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
And I love it in that moment, you know? And that's how you know it's just like there's something really wrong that happens in your brain.
Right? And I just believe that's the way some people are built. I believe it can run in the family, because my mother died an alcoholic.
Right.
She was an alcoholic. My brother, his death was all orientated around alcohol.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I've seen a lot of people suffer and die through it. It nearly got me twice.
Yeah.
And so that's because our brains, to me, a little bit set out differently
Yeah.
to your normal drinkers. It's called.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%. Yeah.
And that's why I do what I do now.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about that, because I was just telling you that I don't remember like when you were just somebody who's always there, who has really nice, motivational quotes.
Yeah.
And I look at them and I repost them sometimes, like in my sobriety, and I generally don't remember when I started following you, but I just think you're so great. I think that the engagement you have with people is really just sincere. You know, it's not performative. It's just genuinely, you're like, no, it's bad.
Yeah,
you know?
I don't mix my
bad
words.
stuff, right?
I have a mentoring business now.
I saw your
and I
website.
have clients on board. It's
Yeah.
like I built my Instagram into to help people out directly.
Yeah.
One-on-one, and it's going very well. But it's a case of, because people go to AA, they can go to all different kind of foundations, institutions, and I do the one-on-one straight talking. And a lot of people want that. You know, I haven't learned to have a book. It's all from experience.
Yeah.
Of my 30 years of drinking,
Professional
experts.
Love.
And the last 10 years of my drinking was really active alcohol addiction.
Yeah.
You know, morning,
Like it was everywhere.
morning, noon, and night. You know, vodka, morning.
Ooh, I was gonna say,
noon,
what was your choice
night.
of
vodka.
poison?
Because lager just weren't doing it anymore. Yeah. I wouldn't get that hit.
Yeah.
I needed something to get into.
You needed more poison.
Bloodstream,
Yeah.
quick. Like heroin addict, you know, with the injector.
Totally. Yeah.
They needed quick.
Yeah.
On a morning, I was
You
waking
used to
up.
get the shakes. You got the shakes.
Shakes.
Yeah.
So I tried to detox on my own once, and that's why I ended up in hospital.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, talk a bit about that. You can die from trying to. If you're a severe alcoholic, you can die from trying to detox yourself. You need professional help to do that.
Yes, exactly. You can get to a point where your body depends on that alcohol daily. Depends on it.
Right.
You need it to function. You need it to get out of bed.
Yeah.
And that's what I was.
Yeah.
And the minute you try to stop that and stop it dead, it can be very dangerous.
So for people, I mean, again, we're saying that we don't recommend that, but then not everybody are in a position wherever they might be when they're listening to this. They might not be in a position to get help to get detoxed, right? So what happens in these places is that they scale you down, isn't it? So,
and that's the first thing I would advise anybody
to do.
They can.
Yeah.
If you're drinking 10 cans of lager a day, do 9 cans.
Right.
And do 8 cans.
Yeah.
7. You know what I mean?
And they can lean on a program maybe, like if they have the AA, it's people, maybe go after people that are got some time under their belt and help, ask them to help with your detox if you can't afford the help.
You can do all that. And that's where I come in sometimes. I can help people to encourage them on a daily basis to do less and less and less, reduce.
Yeah.
But the biggest challenge is when you have got to 0, is staying sober.
Right.
That's the biggest challenge.
Yeah.
Staying sober.
Yeah.
And that's where the work really kicks in.
So, we won't get too much into it, but I know you just had a trying time in your family. So how did you get used to handling that stuff in sobriety?
Again, you have to forward think. Back in 2019, I lost my brother and my mother within 6 months. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I've just recently lost my dad.
Yes, I know.
Happy days.
I know. I love that dark humor. I'm with it.
You gotta move on. But yeah, it's tough. But especially when I lost my mother and my brother in 2019.
Yeah.
I was 5 years sober.
Yeah.
But I was close to going back to the drink then.
What was the thought process?
It was the dark place, and that button nearly came.
Yeah.
It nearly happened.
Yeah. The stress response, that's what we're, when in high stress environments. Okay, so then you lost your father in... that was recently.
Recently lost my father, but in 2019, like I say, I lost my mother and my brother within 6 months. 5 years sober.
Wow.
And I was very close.
Yeah.
The thought occurred, just gutted it.
Yeah.
This is a bad time.
Who's going to know? And this is a bad time.
This is a bad time.
Yeah.
But you know what stopped me? What stopped me was the grief I was feeling then was tough. But I know if I had
you'll be buried in it.
Then the day after, that grief would have been tenfold.
Oh yeah.
100 times more.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure I'd get back from that. The dark thoughts and whatever. I was in the dark place as it was.
It's a good.
Something stopped me.
Yeah.
Something stopped me. Whether it was my brother or my mother who gave me the strength, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was that thought of, if I do this, I don't think I'll get back. And it stopped me, and I managed to get through it sober. And I always encourage clients, followers, if you're having a tough time, do not drink.
Yeah.
It's the first default setting that we would do.
That's a good word. It's a default setting, that's right.
Default setting. What we used to do. Don't do it.
I can just hear people going, well, it's easier said than done. But
I know it is.
That's
why I
You've been there though.
That's why I step in and I help people, and you know, I have plenty of clients ringing me or getting in touch with me saying this has happened. Straight away I want to drink. Stop.
Yeah.
Stop. Let's talk about it. And within 5 minutes you can get through.
Yeah.
That thought.
That impulse.
And the day after.
Yeah.
You're so glad you didn't.
Do you find something in common with the people that reach out to you now in your program? And tell me a little bit more about the structure of that and how you get people to communicate past that impulse. Because at first, I just remember not even realizing I had an impulse. It was just something I did on, like you said, by default. It was the default setting.
It is a process. I mean, I have to set them up. Yeah.
Right.
I have to talk to them.
How does that?
I have to talk to them first of all. I say, listen, like I've just been saying there.
Sure.
Don't drink. Don't drink.
Yeah.
Don't. The shit hits the fan.
Yeah.
Don't drink.
Yeah.
I know. Automatically, default. That's what we did.
Yeah.
That's what we did. Just find that strength. Just find that strength. Just to speak up before you pick up.
I love that.
Well, that's my new hashtag. I put it everywhere now.
Is that your? Yeah, you always have these motivational ones.
It's one that I made up. Speak up before you pick up. So if you got a drink there, look at it and think that's just going to cause me a lot of grief tomorrow.
Yeah.
Give me a shout or speak up to somebody.
Yeah.
Let's get through it.
So during high stress environments, we were talking about rewiring our responses. and you said something about, well, in the train, let me see if I remember, you said something about it, no, I think I said it actually, and you agreed. You were saying that it takes a minute to let that muscle get stronger. And your program, would you describe your page as a program? The website that you have and the service that you provide?
Yeah.
Is it a program?
It's not really a program. No, it's a human one-on-one.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no courses. There's nothing planned to do. It's from one ex-drinker
Yeah.
to another, and I pass on all my experience
Yeah.
to these people. And a lot of people want to hear that. They want to see that. They'd rather somebody who's been there,
Yeah.
rather than somebody who's been to college and learned to.
Have you not been to college, Paul?
No, well, I have, yeah, but nothing to do
The
with
College of Alcoholism.
that. Yeah. So, and that's what a lot of people prefer. A lot of people prefer that. And so,
They do, yeah.
And I just have my own way.
Which it's kind of funny, isn't it? Because there are highly educated people who somehow still their wiring is faulty, and
I think there's
it's like nothing to do with that.
Out there who's not experienced addiction, alcohol addiction. A lot of them haven't experienced alcohol addiction.
Yeah.
It's a lot of them are too trying to drag up people's past, when they was a child and all that, and that. I tend to try not to go that far.
Yeah.
I tend to just try and hit it head on. Like, when did you start drinking? When did it become a problem?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why are you drinking? Blah, blah, blah. And the problem is now. If you're drinking, we need to stop that.
Yeah.
Together, we work on it.
Yeah.
If it all just reduce it down to zero, and once we get to zero, we move on, staying sober, because that's the biggest challenge.
I love that.
Staying sober.
Okay, Paul, we made it.
We did.
Yeah. What were you just telling me? So wait, first you said that car is your favorite. Is it your favorite? You haven't seen all of them yet.
They're all of my favourites.
Okay.
They're all of my favourites. He's a TV presenter.
Oh, is he?
This lady.
No,
But yeah, it's just ironic. We're coming to look at cars and what have you, and I was just saying to you there, I lost my licence twice. Yeah. And I'm going to look at cars. I mean, I still have a licence now.
Yeah.
But back in the dark days, back in the driving days, it never crossed my mind. I just did it.
Yeah.
I just did it.
Yeah.
The first time I smashed my car up. Second time I wasn't actually driving. I was in charge of a vehicle.
What does that mean?
I had keys. I had the keys on me, and I was inside the car, and I was drunk, but I wasn't actually driving.
Yeah, but you had intentions.
That's why I got done. But luckily, it's got maximum 4 points.
Yeah.
There was a custodial sentence there, but we managed to get through that. But yeah, it's all a bit ironic.
Oh shit.